Sure.
you might have to manually add that.
Mhm.
My cash, I just put in my entertainment because that's usually what it's for.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
I needed to move it, I could,
Mhm.
but it's usually going out to eat or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, so you can have everything download into your app and it will track your spending for you. You
Mhm.
pick your categories or
Mhm.
it will have automatic categories. And then
Mhm.
you can, if you know, oh, I went to Target and yeah, I bought toothpaste and personal items, but I also bought clothes. You
Mhm.
can separate those out as
Sure.
well,
Mhm.
those kind of things. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so using an automated system, an app is a lot easier nowadays than it used to be.
Right, right.
So
I
it's
know Dave
probably worth
Ramsey's
it.
got his app.
Oh yes, he's got
Mhm.
every dollar.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
one's a little there's a learning curve on that one a little bit because it projects how you're going to spend your money in the future.
Mm.
You need a budget can do that too and you can save money for bigger purchases.
Mhm.
So it's nice to have that, but it's really important to keep an eye on it, not
Right.
just set it up and then forget about it.
Mhm.
It's just like anything else in your life. If you keep an eye on it, you're going to have better success.
Right, right. And one thing Dave Ramsey says is knowing where your money is going is 90% of the battle, right? I mean, you can see all these transactions on your mobile banking list or whatever, and like you see, okay, well, we paid the water bill, we paid the electric bill, we paid the TV bill, the internet bill. It's like, okay, well, after all of that, this is what I have left. But it's those little things, the gas station stops for the sodas and the Amazon purchases, and even though those may be $5 to $12 a pop, they
They
add
add
up
up.
over time.
They
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
And so Dave Ramsey also talks about telling your money where you want it to go.
Sure.
And when you're in debt, you don't have that option. You're
Mm-hmm.
just paying back.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing when you're in debt is you are presuming you will be able to pay this back. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's going to happen in your future.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about tracking your spending, figure out where those little leaks are. If
Mm-hmm.
it's going to the gas station and you see that, oh my gosh, I'm spending $150 a month on soda
Mm-hmm.
or snacks at Casey's,
Mm-hmm.
how can I fix this? And
Mm-hmm.
this is the time to get creative.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned AI, we can use it for menu planning.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a budget in and say, I would like to have dinners that take 20 minutes or less
Mm-hmm.
and cost no more than $15
Mm-hmm.
a piece for
Mm-hmm.
my family. And it will come up with those kind of items.
Yeah.
So I mean, we see it all the time. You spend $6, $7 at Casey's when you could spend $1 and have breakfast at home.
Sure, sure. Very good. Connie Unruh, or excuse me, Connie Miller. Sorry, Connie. Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank, our guest in studio here for this morning. Let's talk paying down debt.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. How do we approach that?
Well, first of all, you have to figure out where you're at. What do you have for debt?
Mhm.
And that can be a little scary. Sometimes people get scared to write down what they owe. And we talk about writing down what you owe, smallest balance to largest balance,
Mm-hmm.
and then going from there. So now the thing is, though, a lot of people will use their credit card as an emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is to get rid of that in your
Mhm.
head, get rid
Mhm.
of that mental idea that your credit card is your emergency fund because
Mhm.
you're paying 30% more for anything you put on your credit card.
Mhm.
Now I'll hear people say, well, I can move it to 0%, blah, 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 all this stuff. Yeah, but that doesn't fix the problem.
Mhm.
You have to get to a point where you can spend less than you earn
Mhm.
always.
Mhm.
And what you're going to do is you're going to list all your debts, smallest to largest. Once you have an emergency fund, so you pay those debts, just the minimum balance until you have an emergency fund of 1,000 to 2,000, and then use that for your emergency fund,
Sure.
not your credit card.
Right. Right.
Now, once you have that, the minimum payments going and you have your emergency fund, you will pay off. All your extra money gets thrown towards your smallest debt.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, and I love his strategy on it because it's once that smallest debt is paid, you pay minimum on everything else, and you put any extra to that smallest debt. And even if it's just $700, we'll say, gosh, that can go fast. If you can find some extra, if you can find where you talk about the spending on like soda, snacks, the little things that add up. Cut that out by half, and you pour that into that smallest debt. Once that goes away, you go to the next one, and as you pay off those things, gosh, it feels so good. It feels so
plus,
good.
it does. Plus, if you can like he says, live like no one else, so you can live like no one else.
Right, right.
If you could just not go spending at the gas station for a while and not spend on extra items and just completely focus on paying off that debt, you're going to have extra money eventually to do more fun things.
Takes a lot of discipline.
It does.
Really does.
And once you get to that point, then you realize maybe I don't want to spend and buy all this garbage when I could do this at home. And I think we've talked about this before. To walk into a Casey's, park your car, go get food. You usually have to wait in line and leave. You could probably pop something in your microwave at home or throw together a smoothie quicker than that.
Back to AI, you can find the hacks for a lot of those recipes, right?
Absolutely. And there's so many quick fix meals that are better for you too than stopping at a gas station.
Yeah. I ran into some health challenges last year and had to change up the diet a little bit, and AI was huge help in that. So it's useful tool, but for budgeting purposes and paying down debt, very, very beneficial as well. Anything we haven't touched on as it relates to budgeting 2026 you wanted to put out there, Connie?
Yeah, we could talk forever, but I would say that once you do pay down your debt, you get to a point, just remember that every time you incur debt, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to have the money to pay this back. And you might not have the money to pay it back, especially nowadays. I mean, we're seeing a lot of layoffs, especially in the computer and tech area. You might not have that money, or you might have to take a pay cut. I've met a lot of computer programmers who've lost positions and they found jobs, but they're 20-30% less pay. So why not work on make sure you're debt free? You can live on what you're earning now, less than what you're earning, so that later you don't have any issues.
Sure. On that note, Connie, how do folks talk to you about maybe budgeting in 2026?
Yeah. If anybody's interested in working on a budget, they might have some questions or need some help putting their budget together, you can certainly give me a call at DeWitt Savings Bank. The number there, my direct line is what is my number? 217-935-7739. And it's free. You can call. If you're having trouble, even meeting your minimum payments, give me a call. We can figure out a plan. Sure.
Very good. Connie Miller, DeWitt Savings Bank, in studio with us. More to come with Connie on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Get WHOW programming live or on demand right there on your desktop, tablet, iPhone, or smartphone when you want it, 24 hours a day. Just go to DeWittDailyNews.com. If you want to listen to live WHOW programming, just click the Listen Live icon. And if you want to hear one of your favorite WHOW programs when you want to, just click on the Audio on Demand icon. WHOW programming is there when you want it. Just another service from the big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW.
If the flu's got you down, the Warner Hospital and Health Services Walk-In Clinic can help you feel better fast. CEO Paul Skowron inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know. Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks again for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Connie Miller, DeWitt Savings Bank, in studio with us this morning. And, Connie, scams. They're everywhere. They're always there. What's the latest? What do you have for us?
Oh, my goodness. It's like a plague, just growing and growing. And people are getting more creative too. So this morning I had a call from someone who she had mentioned that she had a new pen pal that she met. And I asked her, so how did you meet this pen pal? And she said, well, she texted me by accident. And she thought she was texting someone else. Then we got talking, and then I was like, this is a scam. This is a scam. If in doubt, it's a scam. Don't continue texting her.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, but we're texting on a pen pal app. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is where it starts. And they gain your trust, whether it's something like this is very common. They will, people just text you, you get an unsolicited text that you didn't expect. And then next thing you know, you're good buddies with them and they ask for money to come visit you, or, like, oh, I'm poor. This girl bonded on some trauma they both experienced. I said, well, did you mention it first? Of course, yes, she mentioned her life, and then it turned that this person had the same issue.
How much of a coincidence, right?
Yeah, a little suspicious. So, but if people get caught off guard because they don't know that this happens all the time. Us being in the bank, we see it daily. So they will start this conversation with you unsolicited. They become your friend, and then they might ask for money to come visit you, like maybe if it's the boyfriend girlfriend scam, or they might say, hey, because of this thing that happened to me, I can't afford my rent. And you're like, oh, I can help you. And it's a scam.
Yeah. Who are they targeting most with these, are you finding?
Everybody. And the scary part is that we always think it's the older people. And in general, older people are scammed more or targeted more because they own 77% of assets. People over 55 own most assets because they have retirement accounts. And if they've converted it into an income stream, or they're receiving retirement benefits, those are great targets because they have a lot of money.
Right.
But the people who are most likely to be scammed are your millennials and Gen Zs.
Why is that?
Because they trust people more. They're used to being
quicker
on the
trust.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're used to having digital conversations. They go quickly. They bounce from this to this, and they don't think. They're used to, like, being on was it like
TikTok or
and just seeing something really quick. So they don't take the time to think this through, like, oh, this could be a scam. So they get scammed more, but they have less money to take.
Yeah, for sure. Other scams popping up right now?
Fake sites to buy goods and services is huge. Even people buying off of Amazon and not getting their goods, things
really?
like that are
Wow.
very, very prevalent because it's Christmas. Then you try to return that cheap item that didn't look anything like the picture, and you can't, or they say they never received it. So I had that issue. I bought some clothes online on Amazon and I returned them. I got the return verification and everything, and they say they never received them.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And there's nothing you can really do except get on the phone like 15 times with Amazon.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So so there's stuff like that going on, but we also have a lot of investment scams going on right now.
Really?
And it might be like let me put it this way. If we're desperate or greedy, we're susceptible to a scam. And that's the people they get, the desperate people and the greedy people. So people see it as, I have no way out, or I'm 55 years old and I want to retire at 60 and I have no money saved. So I'm going to just chuck it all into this Bitcoin offering and it's not real. Or these people are telling me it's this great deal. I gave them a little money and it grew really quick, so I'm going to give them more. And that's where you really, really can get scammed. I was just listening to Dave Ramsey earlier in the week, and there was a gal who came on and she borrowed $150,000 from her brother, lost it all on an online investment. But then her brother invested money in it too, because it looked like it was growing, and they might send you like fake statements saying that this money, you log into their website and it looks like it's growing and it's not.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful. Find investment companies that you've heard of, make sure it's a legitimate site.
Yeah.
don't trust strangers.
Right.
It's a lot harder than it used to be.
Right.
So,
Right.
actually, at the bank, we've been getting a lot of people coming in and buying, purchasing CDs, certificates of deposit, because they are afraid of losing their money and not knowing where it's at. And that's an alternative. A lot of people too want the insurance for a CD, and CDs are insured up to $250,000. Your accounts are. But if you have an additional signer or beneficiary, it can be up to $500,000. And then we do have programs that we participate in, so we can have even more insurance for you in a larger account.
Sure.
Because people are concerned about, you work so hard and then your money's gone on the internet, or even not even a scam, but like I had money with Vanguard and I had an issue with my account. The first 25 people I spoke to did not speak English. I had to call, could not get a hold of anybody who could help me. And it took about a year to get my money.
Wow, man. Oh man, man, crazy out there. How do you navigate some of these things you're talking about?
You do your research, and you mentioned AI. And a lot of Google, when you go on Google, it will show the AI summary. That's not always right. So you need to delve down further and look for reputable companies to do some research. And remember that sometimes they're biased. They might be paid by different investment
I go past all the
companies.
Sponsored stuff. I never click on anything sponsored on Google. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. And there's a lot of sites like Wallet Hub, and they have good products, but they're all paid or they're sponsored.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So you do need to be careful when you do that.
Sure.
But we have a lot of investment advisors here in town that are trusted by the community. We have banks that are trusted by the community that you can meet with and get a better idea of how you can invest.
Sure. Well, Connie, on that note, have you seen the video? You talked about Dave Ramsey. Have you seen the prank video him and his daughter played on him at Christmas?
No.
You've heard about these like anthropology rock pranks where like these people will pull a rock out of their yard. They'll wrap it up real nice in a nice box, and like the woman opens it. Oh my gosh, is this an anthropology rock? And they're like, yeah, it is. And they're joking about how they paid like $700 for it, and it's normally like $12. And they totally do this. Right, like her name's Rachel, right? Yeah. Rachel does this. They're opening it up, and like Dave's sitting there in his chair, and he's like, you paid $700 for a rock. I could just go get you the rock out of the front yard, and they carry it on, and then at the end they're like, yeah, this is just a rock from the front yard. We're just messing with you. And Dave was not happy about that one. That was a good one to watch. I'll send you a video of it if I find it, but really, really funny. How do folks get a hold of you, Connie, at DeWitt Savings Bank?
It's 217-935-7739. And certainly if you have a question, is this legit? Is it, am I being scammed? Come in. We deal with this every single day. Every single day.
Very good. On that note, Connie, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank in studio with us. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
The Big 1520, WHOW Clinton, along with 92.3 FM Clinton and 106.5